Hello guys, Smoothie here, and welcome to this video about the top 5 guns to use as a beginner on Battlefield 2042. Season 3 has recently started and the game has been free to play on PC and Xbox for a couple days, with PlayStation to follow on December 16th. So I thought this was the perfect time to make a video like this, as many new players have joined the Battlefield. Together, we're gonna take a look at what I believe to be 5 guns that are fairly easy to use, as well as unlocked from the beginning or within a few hours of playing. Please note that some weapons may need certain attachments and setups to unlock their full potential. I'm gonna show you the setups I use and how to unlock the attachments you need for them. The gameplay you see in the background is mostly put together from 50 to 80 kill rounds I had with these weapons on Breakthrough. There are some highlights in it, but I purposely didn't put together all my best multi-kills and kill streaks, as I want you to see the weapons used in all kinds of different scenarios, from close to long range, hip firing or aiming down sights. And now, without further ado, let's start with our first weapon, the M5A3. I would recommend this to be the very first weapon you use when you start playing Battlefield 2042, as it is unlocked right from the beginning. Even once you have all weapons unlocked, it remains one of the best in the game. It's a very versatile gun that can be used in all situations, from close to long range. It has the smallest hipfire spread out of all assault rifles, which is why it's the perfect assault rifle to take into close range battles. It also has the lowest recoil out of all assault rifles, even one of the lowest in the game. That makes it easy to use, even in mid to long range gunfights. Once you get used to the recoil a little bit, you can even spray down enemies at large distances without having to tap or burst fire. Some more technical info for those interested. The M5A3 has a fire rate of 750 rounds per minute, which is kind of average, and it deals 22 damage up to a distance of 30 meters, which means you need 5 bullets to kill someone. After 30 meters, the damage drops off and it requires 6 or even 7 bullets to kill someone. This is the setup I use on the M5A3. For the sights, I would recommend you to try all the available ones and decide for yourself which one you feel most comfortable with. Personally, I prefer the K8 Holo, which requires 330 kills, because I find it to be the cleanest one that gives me the most visibility. With the barrel and underbarrel, you'll notice a bit of a theme. I use the same 2 attachments on almost all my weapons. For the barrel, the Warhawk compensator, as it reduces the overall recoil and turns almost every gun into an easily controllable laser, and for the underbarrel, the BCG light grip, as it makes the weapon more accurate when aiming down sights. You need 180 and 30 kills for them respectively. More accuracy means the bullets don't spread as much, which makes a big difference in long range fights. And for the ammunition, I use the standard issue extended mag, which I also use on almost all my guns, as having a bigger magazine is almost always the better option. It requires 270 kills to unlock. I always encourage everyone to try out different attachments and find a setup that fits their playstyle. This is just how I prefer using them. Don't let all these high kill requirements for the best setup discourage you from using it. It's still a very good gun, even if it's played completely stock. The second weapon I would recommend using is the PP29. You unlock it after reaching level 18. The PP29 is a submachine gun that is primarily used for close range gunfights. So if you're the type of player that really likes playing game modes like Rush or Breakthrough, where all players focus on 1 or 2 objectives and aren't as spread out across the map as they are on Conquest, or if you're the type of player that really wants to get in close and onto the objectives, this is the gun for you. It deals 28 damage up to a distance of 20 meters, so it's always a 4-bullet kill, which makes it the most powerful SMG in close range situations. With an extended mag, it has a 65-bullet magazine. Plenty of ammo to take down multiple enemies before having to reload. The PP-29 has a fairly high recoil, the most out of all SMGs and assault rifles. I do find, however, that it is fairly easy to control, and it still allows me to spray down enemies at medium to long ranges, as you can see in some of these clips. As for the setup, the sight is personal preference again. I'm using the K8 Holo as usual if it's available. And just like on the M5, I use the Warhawk compensator for better recoil control and the standard issue mag. The PP-29 does not have an underbarrel attachment. Let's move on to the next gun, the LCMG LMG. This weapon is unlocked after reaching level 3. Now, the LCMG requires specific attachments to really become a good weapon. At first, it is a little bit harder to play and requires some getting used to. Aiming down your sights is a little bit slower with LMGs, as they are heavy guns. But you really want to avoid having to hipfire an LMG, as they have by far the highest hipfire spread out of all automatic weapons. On top of that, LMGs also have some of the highest recoil in the game. If you are using the LCMG without any attachments, imagine yourself as more of a support player. Take a medkit or an ammo box with you. Resupply your team. Maybe even play as a support specialist like Falk and revive your teammates. Just take it a little bit slower than you would with an SMG or assault rifle. Once you do unlock the required attachments, however, it does become a very good and reliable gun even in close range situations, which lets you play a bit more aggressive with it again. It's the only LMG that deals 28 damage per bullet, and it does so up to a distance of 30 meters. It does have the slowest fire rate, which balances that damage, but we can boost that with the attachments. Okay, so the setup. You really want to use the LCMG with a shortened barrel and close combat ammunition, as both of those attachments give you a higher fire rate. You need that if you want to get in close. They require 60 and 180 kills to unlock respectively. You can swap out the shortened barrel for the Warhawk compensator if you want less recoil from medium range battles. On the underbarrel, I use the BCG light grip again like on the M5, just to make the gun a bit more accurate. As usual, pick the sight you're most comfortable with. The LCMG does not have a K8 holo, so I either use the XDR holo or the Fusion holo. The next two weapons on the list require some unlocking to do. First, we have the AM40 assault rifle. In order to unlock it, you have to get 80 kills while aiming down sights with SMGs, as well as 40 hipfire kills with assault rifles. The AM40 is best used in close to mid-range battles. It does 28 damage and a 4-bullet kill within 10 meters. After that, it drops to a 5-bullet kill up to 40 meters. That is a little bit further than the M5. On top of that, the AM40 also has a slightly higher fire rate, making it one of the best weapons in terms of time to kill. It's a little bit trickier to handle though, as it has the worst recoil and the worst hipfire spread out of all assault rifles. This is another one of those weapons that don't really unlock their full potential until you've unlocked some attachments for it. You only have a 20 bullet magazine in the beginning, which is a little bit of a pain to use, and the recoil is rather tough to handle until you unlock the Warhawk compensator. As for the setup, As already mentioned, I used the Warhawk compensator with the BCG light grip and K8 holo as usual. At the time of the video, I was still using the standard issue extended mags, but once you unlock the drummer mag, it becomes an even better weapon. And finally, the last gun on my list, the Avancys LMG. In order to unlock it, you have to get 100 kills or assists with the LCMG, as well as 40 kills with LMGs at a distance of 50 meters or more. The Avancys is one of the easiest and most versatile LMGs to use in Battlefield 2042. It has the lowest recoil and the best accuracy out of all of them. In fact, the recoil is so low, it is only slightly worse than the M5, making it very easy to control. It does 26 damage up to 40 meters, so just like the LCMG, it's a 4-bullet kill at closer ranges. But unlike the LCMG, the Avancys has a decent fire rate as well, which makes it a very good LMG to use, even if you have a more aggressive playstyle. It also has the fastest reload time out of all LMGs, which is always a bit of a bonus, as LMGs usually suffer from long reloads. On to the setup. Just like on the LCMG, I use the XDR holo and BCG light grip. Here, I use the Warhawk compensator instead of a shortened barrel though. For the ammunition, I use the extended mags, as the Avancys does not have close combat ammunition. That's it. Those are the 5 weapons I would recommend using when you first start playing Battlefield 2042. A quick bonus tip to end this video: if you want to unlock the weapon attachments faster, you can load up a solo game against easy AI from the menu, like you see on screen right now, and unlock them that way. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.